Good evening, you're watching NewsTrack with me, Maria Shakeel. There is never a dull moment in Indian politics. Some days it's about war words, other days it's also about walkouts. Today it was about both. In Tamil Nadu, a stormy assembly session ended with Governor Ravi walking out without delivering the customary address, triggering a political slugfest. If you remember, viewers, this isn't the first time that Governor Ravi has walked out of the assembly. In Kerala, similar picture played out. In fact, the Chief Minister Pinarayi Vijayan has now accused Governor Rajendra Arlekar of altering the cabinet-approved policy address. Across opposition-ruled states, governors and elected governments are once again on a collision course. So what does this really mean? Why are Lok Bhavans, or should I say Raj Bhavans in various states, increasingly becoming sites of confrontation where should both sides draw the line? I'll ask those questions to the guests who will be joining me shortly, but first, here's what happened today.
Governors versus governments. It is a conflict that refuses to die. As polls draw closer in opposition-ruled states like Tamil Nadu and Kerala, constitutional officers are once again at the center of political storms. The latest flashpoint is Tamil Nadu. A stormy first day of the assembly session saw CM Stalin and Governor Ravi locking horns. It ended with the governor walking out without reading the customary address. Ravi alleged that the address prepared by the DMK government was filled with inaccuracies and unsubstantiated claims. Soon after, the TN Lok Bhavan released a statement, claiming the governor's microphone was repeatedly switched off. It said Ravi was interrupted when he attempted to make changes to the speech. The statement also flagged inflated investment figures and alleged that women's safety was completely ignored. The DMK hit back strongly. CM Stalin accused the governor of repeatedly undermining the dignity of the assembly.
ஆட்டுக்கு தாடியும் நாட்டுக்கு ஆளுநர் பதவியும் தேவையில்லை என்று பேரறிஞர் அண்ணா அவர்கள் கூறிய போதிலும், அதை முத்தமிழறிஞர் தலைவர் கலைஞர் அவர்கள் வழிமொழிந்த போதிலும், அந்த பதவி இருக்கும் வரை அதற்குரிய மரியாதையை கொடுக்க அவர்கள் முதலமைச்சர்களாக இருந்த நேரத்தில் தவறியதில்லை.
As expected, the confrontation quickly turned political. The BJP and its allies accused the DMK of treating a constitutional post as its mouthpiece.
It is a very big issue that, expecting, as I already mentioned, expecting the governor to be a mouthpiece of the DMK's government is not fair. You want the governor to come and validate your lies. You want the governor to come and support your manipulative ideas and thoughts. And the governors refuse to do that. It is very simple. So the chief minister getting upset over that is obvious.
The governor categorically refused to state the same and speak the same. He sought the correct data and he wanted that to be set right because it is on the assembly, it is going on records. And DMK government refused to do so. And MK Stalin, instead of sticking on to the governor's speech, wants to have his own narrative filled into the governor's speech.
The DMK countered, accusing the governor of acting with a political agenda.
Yeah, we've been used to it because we very well know our assembly proceedings will be boycotted by the governor. Governor has his own political views in that aspect. So he had a fixed agenda to express. He was in no mood to read the governor's address at all.
But Tamil Nadu is not alone. In Kerala, a fresh constitutional face-off has erupted between CM Vijayan and Governor Arlekar. Vijayan has accused the governor of unilaterally adding and deleting portions of the cabinet-approved policy address. He has alleged that references critical of the centre were deliberately omitted.
Governor സഭയെ അഭിസംബോധന ചെയ്ത് നടത്തിയ നയപ്രഖ്യാപന പ്രസംഗത്തിൽ ചില കൂട്ടിച്ചേർക്കലുകളും ഒഴിവാക്കലുകളും വരുത്തിയിട്ടുള്ളത് അംഗങ്ങളുടെയും ചെയറിൻ്റെയും ശ്രദ്ധയിൽപ്പെടുത്തുന്നു.
Assembly Speaker also backed the CM.
ബഹുമാനപ്പെട്ട മുഖ്യമന്ത്രി ഇവിടെ ചൂണ്ടിക്കാണിച്ചത് വളരെ സുപ്രധാനമായ ഒരു കാര്യമാണ്. നിയമസഭയെ ബഹുമാനപ്പെട്ട ഗവർണർ അഭിസംബോധന ചെയ്തുകൊണ്ട് നടത്തുന്നത് ഗവൺമെന്റ് വേണ്ടി ക്യാബിനറ്റ് അംഗീകരിച്ച പ്രസംഗമാണ്. അതിൽ നിന്ന് വിട്ടുപോകുന്നതോ വ്യതിചലിക്കുന്നതോ ആയിട്ടുള്ള പരാമർശങ്ങൾ ഔദ്യോഗികമായി അംഗീകരിക്കുന്നതല്ല.
Not just the speaker, leader of opposition V.D. Satheesan also supported the government's stand.
In the governor's address, it was full of a fake claim of the government and half-truths.
The pattern is same in other opposition ruled states as well. In West Bengal, the Mamata Banerjee government remains at loggerheads with Governor Ananda Bose over SIR exercise and law and order issues. In Jammu and Kashmir, CM Omar Abdullah and Lieutenant Governor Manoj Sinha have clashed over statehood and admin issues. In the past as well, then Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal and Lieutenant Governor Vinay Saxena have frequently locked horns over civic and administrative issues. From pending bills to university appointments to administrative control, the friction between elected governments and appointed governors has become a recurring theme. It is in this backdrop that the Supreme Court has drawn a clear Lakshman Rekha. Last year, the top court ruled that while no fixed timeline can be imposed on governors or the president to grant assent to bills, constitutional authorities can't sit on legislation indefinitely either. Acting on a reference from President Murmu, the court also clarified that prolonged or unexplained delays that frustrate the legislative process can invite limited judicial review. As election season approaches, Lok Bhavans are no longer just ceremonial spaces. They are emerging as political battlegrounds. And the battle between governors and government shows no signs of ending anytime soon. Bureau Report, India Today.
Suman C. Raman is a political analyst. He joins me live. Kasturi Shankar is a leader of Tamil Nadu BJP. Salim Dharan is spokesperson of the DMK. We have Lakshmi Ramachandran, Congress spokesperson. Kasturi Shankar, Article 176 of the Constitution says that the governor is to deliver a special address at the start of the first legislative session each year, and that he will be reading a speech which is prepared by the elected state government. The Council of Ministers, led by the Chief Minister, draft the governor's address, which details the government's plans and achievements. It essentially is about the reasons of the summoning and the outlines that the government's legislative and policy agenda is, and that is dictated by the Council of Ministers. Why is Governor Ravi perhaps every few months creating issues which will be seen as unconstitutional?
I think one has to understand that the times have changed. We are living in very different times from when Article 176 was even drafted. I mean, I understand that governors will read out of a pre-prepared speech, which is prepared by the state government, because, of course, the state government has to present its achievements and challenges in the speech, especially at the start of every assembly session of the year. But that doesn't mean that you make a mockery of the democratic system. What is more unconstitutional, Maria? You make a mockery of the democratic system. You completely bypass the burning issues of the state. You put in lies out there. I mean, if you've read the detailed explanation issued by Lok Bhavan, you'll see that they've actually
the constitutional duty of the governor. The constitutional duty of the governor is to act at the aid and advice of the Council of Ministers, and he has to read this speech, which is about fulfilling the constitutional requirement. What makes you think that the government of the day will be putting out lies on the floor of the House?
I have quoted the Lok Bhavan's actual missive. So I'm not making up things here. These are the reasons quoted by the governor.
Yes, I'm seeing that, ma'am. I'm seeing that, ma'am. But my larger question is that why should it be seen that the government of the day is lying. Mr. Dharnidharan, come in now.
Hi, good evening, Maria, and good evening to your viewers. So, first, we have to understand what was discussed in the Constitutional Assembly debates. In fact, there was a debate in which there was a discussion if the governor should be elected or appointed. And then Ambedkar said the governor can never be elected by the people or by any other, or even indirectly, because if the governor is elected, then he will start running a parallel government to the people. And then he goes on to say that the governor has only duties, constitutional duties, and has no function. Why do we even have governor? Because we have borrowed the Westminster system, which is in place in many Commonwealth countries, Canada, UK, Australia. So it's customary in all these countries. Here governor in the UK, the king or the queen, and also in Canada, governor, and Australia also governor, to give a prepared speech before the starting of the assembly or the parliament, whichever the case may be. This is prepared by the Council of Ministers. But what gives the Council of Ministers a legitimacy is that the Council of Ministers are appointed by the Chief Minister, who is therein elected by the MLAs chosen by the people. Therefore, the Council of Ministers has legitimacy from the people. What is the legitimacy that the governor has? Governor is doing a constitutional duty. It's a ceremonial position. If at all, who will judge the government is doing a good job or not, elected government, is the people themselves. That is why you have a 5-year tenure. If at all the governor has to intervene with the governance of an elected government, then we don't need to have election itself. Therein the people, then why should an appointee run? What is the connection between appointee and the people? There is no. That is why elected government. So opposition is there to keep checks and balance. So a governor cannot act as an opposition leader or an opposition politician, which is why I keep saying this governor R.N. Ravi acts as a BJP and RSS spokesperson. But another important question which will nail the debate is also, why is that this happening only in non-BJP rule state? Why is it the last 25 years, tell me one occasion where the governor in Gujarat either digressed, maybe last 11 years, either digressed from the speech given by the governor.
So that's a valid point, that why is it that in only those states which are ruled by opposition that this kind of clash between the Raj Bhavan and the government of the day is playing out. Let me bring in the Congress spokesperson, Ms. Lakshmi Ramachandran. Ms. Ramachandran, is the Congress also seeing governors as the centre's new political tool, perhaps to destabilize states? And is are you looking at something which will be seen as the opposition party collectively demanding a review of the governor's role? But I must remind you, ma'am, that when the Congress was in power, we have seen similar misuse of Raj Bhavans whenever it was an opposition ruled state.
Good evening. I think this particular governor has a complete misunderstanding of his role. He thinks of himself as the leader of opposition. He thinks of himself as, a member of the ADMK or the BJP, which is, the parties that are occupying the opposition benches in Tamil Nadu. He has, the first thing that has to be done is some training for the governor, because every time at the beginning of the session, this drama is played out and people are becoming tired. Earlier, when the first time he did it, the people were outraged. I mean, I'm not talking about, people like us in political parties. I'm talking about the common public. People were outraged. Now they're so used to his drama that they're not even they're tired of it. That's what they expect from him. They
Kasturi
don't
Shankar, I'm going to come to you, but let me bring in Suman C. Raman. Suman C. Raman, both these states where this is playing out are poll-bound states. And this is like a recurring governor versus chief minister conflict. Do you see this as a constitutional crisis or perhaps a manufactured political strategy?
Maria, as far as this, speech in the assembly is concerned, I think there have been proposals multiple times over the last 30 years to get rid of it through a constitutional amendment. The last that I recall was when former President R. Venkatraman was the president. He actually created a proposal for this and took it to former Prime Minister Rajiv Gandhi and subsequently to former Prime Minister Mr. Chandrasekhar. Nothing came out of it. But let us face it, this was deemed to be a hangover from the British days, and this address to the assembly was sought to be done away with. It should have been done away with, and the fact that it has not been is sad. The point here is the Tamil Nadu governor is not reading out his speech. He is reading out the speech of the state government duly elected by the people of the state. Let's assume that a lot of it is factually incorrect. As long as there is nothing unconstitutional in the speech, it is the duty of the governor to read out the speech. He can always write these points to the government and say, look, you made me read out a whole lot of stuff which is not true. A separate letter could be sent to the state government. That letter could even be released to the media. The governor is well within his rights to do that. Because let's face it, some of the stuff which the governor pointed out is factual. Because, for instance, there's been a clamor asking for a white paper on the investments in the state. This government has not given that. And they claim 20 lakh crore has come, so many lakh jobs have come, which people have been questioning. So the governor is making a lot of valid points. The problem is, this was not the forum. The assembly was when he should have read out the speech, come out, and then release this letter saying that I have written to the chief minister saying that a lot of the stuff mentioned in the speech is not factually right. So I don't think, I think that should have been the right way of doing it. But let me point out one more thing, Maria. This government wanted this governor to be sacked, not now, more than 1.5 years ago.
Yes.
And in the last 1 year, they have not spoken once about wanting him sacked.
Okay.
So something is going on. There is,
Okay, so
there are.
Mr. Dharnidharan
Yeah.
can perhaps tell us what is really going on here.
The DMK stand on the governor has always been consistent. Earlier, Anna said this line, ஆட்டுக்கு எதற்கு தாடி நாட்டுக்கு ஏன் ஆளுநர், which means why should a goat have a beard, why should the country have a governor? So we're always saying the governor should be done away with, and it's a Westminster system. I think the BJP does not like anything British or anything outside of India, so they should do away with the governors and let the elected government run. Probably the chief justice could do the role of what the governor does in inducting the ministers and the chief
You know,
minister.
one view can be, Mr. Dharnidharan, that the that the DMK, your party, is deliberately provoking the governor to create a center versus state kind of a narrative, because this is your bid to garner sympathy ahead of the state polls.
How? How are we provoking the governor? We are following the constitutional norm. The speech was sent to him few days back. He was invited, and then he came, and then he goes saying the same reason. This time, the reason was that the national anthem was not played. National anthem would be played. It was played, but first Tamil Taivaltu proceeding the national anthem. This was the case even during the ADMK rule in Tamil Nadu, which ADMK was in alliance with the BJP. So why then the governors didn't have a problem then, and why is this governor having a problem? Even this governor in 2022 did not have a problem with this. In 23 did not have a problem. 24 he miraculously found out. In 22, what controversy he did? He omitted few parts. In 24 he digressed. 25 then he brought about national anthem. Again 26 national anthem. So basically he wants a reason to create drama. Where is that I am going and provoking him? Or my part is going and provoking. He is the one who's digressing from the script. Who is the first governor in history of Tamil Nadu to digress from the script? This governor. Who is it that who kind of omitted certain words?
No, the point that has been made here is, as Suman C. Raman was pointing out, that there were several factually incorrect aspects of that speech which the governor said that he would not read. Perhaps he could have read it and come out and, released a press release, but he chose to walk out instead.
I want to come in that. See, as a governor, he's an educated person. He was in government service. So he's not someone who does not understand the role of a governor.
Okay.
So before becoming a governor, he definitely knows that before every assembly, there will be a script given by the state assembly, which he has to read out. This is not
Kasturi Shankar.
Not even by DMK. It has been in process since 1950. So then you could have rejected the role. I won't read that out. Why did you took that role? Accepting the duty, which means you are deviating from the duty that's been given to you.
Okay.
So
Kasturi Shankar, please respond.
Okay. First, I want to talk about the outrage that Lakshmi ma'am was talking about in the state, and how people of Tamil Nadu are outraged by the actions of the governor. You know, we can debate about the governor's locus standi ad nauseum, but let's not go so far as to ignore why the people of Tamil Nadu are outraged right now and why they are tired right now. They are outraged by the abject absence of law and order, by the abject absence of safety for women. They are tired of having to deal with drug dealers and violence on a daily basis. They are tired of waiting in line for unheld promises, unimplemented election promises. The entire state is watching people go on protest every day. Literally every vote bank is on the streets protesting. Literally every vote bank which voted for the DMK, in fact, is on the streets protesting. So let's not go so far as to talk about outrage and tired without actually seeing what's going on the ground in Tamil Nadu, number one. And number two, answering Mr. Dharnidharan's claims about why all this happens only in opposition ruled states. I'd like to remind him about a little bit of political history before BJP came to power. We had in Tamil Nadu, we had the famous Channa Reddy versus Jayalalitha episodes. In Bihar, we had Bhuta Singh. It actually was a Supreme Court decision because the Supreme Court actually said he acted unconstitutionally by dismissing an elected government even before they had time to meet. We have so many other historical examples from the UPA governors list. So why are we just singling out BJP? I think that is just fits into the narrative of the DMK to bash the BJP. For anything and everything, including their own responsibilities, they will demonize the BJP and not taking into account that R.N. Ravi is a governor of the state. So how constitutional is it?
Okay, quickly
How
respond to that,
democratic is
Salim
it for
Dharnidharan,
you
and
to
then I
keep labeling
give the
him
last word
as
to
a
Suman C. Raman.
representative
Go ahead.
of a party?
Mr. Dharnidharan.
So the governor has cast aspersions on my government. Am I obligated to reply to that? No, because
Accurate?
he has no excuses
Yeah,
to
they
make. But
aspersions are
because I am a
there. If he
spokesperson, if I
claims
don't reply, no, let me not be interrupted. Because I'm a spokesperson, if I do not reply, then maybe they would assume it's what he said is true. So I will say when it comes to women's safety, Tamil Nadu ranks number one based on NCRP data. I have made a tweet; it was retweeted about 400 times. It is there in the NCRB website. People can take for 100,000 people. The highest number of crimes happen in all the 5 states are invariably BJP rule states. Or in every metric
now
when it
who's
comes to law and
causing
order,
now who's
the law and
causing
order
us
situation in Tamil
Okay.
Nadu have improved. Even when it comes to GDP growth, Tamil Nadu's
Okay,
GDP
no,
growth rate
we
in the
can
last
go
5 years
through
has
all those
doubled.
details at a later stage. I mean, here the larger issue is that why is it really happening? Yet, yes, Ms. Ramachandran, 30 seconds.
So I just want to recall that some time ago the chief minister jokingly commented that we want this governor to continue because as long as he is continuing, there is nothing that we have to worry. So his actions are such that he is overshadowing
Perhaps those are
leaders are supposed to
excuses.
do. So in fact,
The similar thing that we have seen in Bengal and in other states which are being ruled by opposition, that they can put the entire blame perhaps on the governor's office, that if there are certain, promises that are not fulfilled. Yes, Suman C. Raman, you get the last word. Please go ahead.
Yeah. This particular governor, unlike to some extent Mr. Anand Bose or earlier Arif Mohammad Khan in Kerala and others, R.N. Ravi has been giving a free hit to the DMK at regular intervals. So I don't blame the chief minister for hoping. That's why they have become silent after going to Parliament in Delhi and saying that he should be replaced. Last 1 year they become totally silent because they've realized that periodically he gives them this free hit and opportunities to score political points by doing what he does. So
Okay.
I think that it's maybe the center should see whether Mr. Ravi's antics in Tamil Nadu are actually contributing to whatever greater cause they think that he should be doing for them.
All right. Thank you for joining us. Thank you to all the panelists. Of course, this will be something that will escalate in the coming few days in the run-up to the states that go to polls. Remember, there are 5 states that go to polls in the next 2 months. The model code of conduct will come into effect sometime in the later half of February. That's all from me. Thanks so much.